So, the human prism principle, letting love through because life is unscripted. A rainbow isn't something we create. It's something that happens when light finds the right way through. Have you ever been stopped in your tracks by something so beautiful? I have, and it was this. This is an actual photo of a rainbow that was on my carpet in the summer of 2017. I woke up after asking for a sign the night before, challenged by something, and I asked for a sign and I woke up to this on my carpet, realizing that it was here on my carpet because I had a glass prism on my window ledge, and I knew that the sun was shining through that prism. And I know by refraction that that sunlight shining through the prism gave me this rainbow. And that's when I realized, human prism principle. Those words came to me. Because I believe we are everything and nothing. I believe we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and more on this later. I realized that whatever you want to call that sun, let's say it symbolizes, in my line of work, the power of love. That's what I call it. Some call it God, some call it infinite intelligence, universal force. You could call it Fred, electricity. I don't really mind. But once you start to label it, that's when it makes more sense to us. But that power, that sunshine, that sunlight, I believed was symbolizing that power of love. I believe that the prism was symbolizing us as human beings, the physical part of us as a human being. The rainbow is our authentic expression. It's the truth. It's our true colors and a new definition of true colors. And then I thought to myself, but what if the clouds were out that day? The sun would still be shining, so that infinite intelligence, that power of love is still present. The glass prism is still present on my window ledge, but the colors, the rainbow, wouldn't be there. And that's when I realized that the clouds symbolize the ego, that rubbish story that we believe to be true that keeps us in our limited state. And when we can reduce the ego and open our hearts, that is when we are able to express ourselves fully. So that morning is when I realized something profound, that we are not here to make the light. We are here to let it through. And we become one with the light to express ourselves in all its glory. And what an honor that is. When was the last time that you felt truly lit up inside? Like you were full of color, like you were expressing yourself in all your glory. When was the last time you felt truly in flow? Maya Angelou was quoted as saying, "Be a rainbow in someone else's cloud." And we are naturally, innately, this is our state. We are that rainbow, that natural expression, but we can only be it when love flows through us. We are everything and nothing. So I'm just going to stop sharing at the moment. And what do I mean by this? There was a belief I had when I first saw my grandparents in a chapel of rest, because I believe we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And forgive me if this is going to bring up any sad memories for you, but if you've ever seen anyone you love pass away, if you know of anyone who's passed away, or you know of anybody that has seen anyone pass away, what is the one thing that they say about that person? And you're more than welcome to share your thoughts. What's the one thing you say about that person when you see them? And if you haven't, what would you imagine that you would say?
I don't know if
They're not
there's a
there
right or
anymore.
wrong with this. Oh, sorry. Go
Sorry,
on, Mike.
Sorry, they're not there anymore.
it's not, yeah,
Yeah,
they're
that's
not there
what
anymore.
Shell.
that's exactly what I was thinking. I remember looking down and going, "That's you're not there anymore.
Yeah,
Whatever's left is
Mm.
it's not you."
Love that.
It was weird just looking down. Like I've known that person for years, and it was almost like they were a stranger. Whatever you're talking about, that force, that spirit, whatever it was gone. It just
Brilliant.
wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly that. Louise, did you have a similar?
It was exactly the same thing. I was just going to say, sort of, I remember seeing my uncle and it was sort of walking in the room and it was, oh, he's gone.
Yeah,
He was physically in
gone.
front of me, but oh, he's gone.
Gone. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Joe, do you have any thoughts on that? I didn't want just to include you. If not, doesn't matter.
No, I just wholeheartedly agree. I mean, it was my
Okay.
dad, but it wasn't my dad. It was just a body,
Yeah. Yeah.
wasn't a person.
I love
Yeah.
that. Thank you for sharing that because that's exactly what I thought. It's not them, even though it was. So then my next question is, what's missing? James touched on the spirit. What do we call? What's missing, do we think?
Soul, I guess.
The soul, yeah.
Spirit.
Spirit,
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what it is. I don't know what I believe in, but whatever it is, energy, soul, spirit,
yeah.
their ether, it's not there. It's gone
It's not
somewhere
there.
else.
Yeah. And we've got many names for it. Go on,
It's
Louise.
hard to articulate it.
Mm.
I think that's the challenge. If you don't say sort of their soul or their spirit, I don't know
Mm.
what other
Mm.
word really there is sort
Yeah.
of really to
E-
coin.
Energy, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's really
Yeah.
difficult. It's because I'm not sure what I believe in. So it's kind of I'm trying to fit words that I've heard
Absolutely. And I
into.
think that's it. I think it's hard because it doesn't really have a name, it just is a presence. But I think what we understand it to be as human beings is soul, spirit, energy, um, essence, power. There's many names you could call it, but I think we get the gist. Where does that go?
Oh,
Again, no right or wrong.
I think it just goes in the ether, doesn't it?
Isn't it? Exactly that. We kind of don't really know where it goes, but it kind of just goes out there. It just sort of lives on because it's an energy. It cannot be created or destroyed. It just is. But then what happens to the body? That physical being, what happens to that?
deteriorates or it's cremated or
Yeah. Yeah, it turns to dust. Whether you are cremated or you go in the ground, it turns to dust. And that is how I worked out in my mind that we are everything and nothing. As a human being, we are everything and nothing. There is an everything part of us, that energy, that when that energy leaves our physical body, we are no longer here. And in that moment, this was the day before the rainbow, I was like, oh my God, that's really helped me understand it better. But I cannot go around talking about dead people because that's really morbid. And it's upsetting for some people. But that's when I asked for a sign. Can you give me something? So I'm now just going to share with you. I got a girlfriend to just create some slides for me, and I'd really like to just share those with you as basic as I possibly can do to illustrate what we have just spoken about. So this is how my rainbow appeared on my carpet. So we've got the sunshine, that in my line of work, I call it the power of love. I also believe it to be God, but other people, like you say, James, we have different beliefs. Infinite intelligence, universal force, energy. Like I said, we could call it Fred, electricity, it doesn't matter, but there is a power that orchestrates all things. And I talk about a lot that it grows the grass, turns the world, grows the grass, and beats our hearts. And when that power flows to and through us, this is our natural expression. This is our innate state. As a human being, this is us feeling divine, whole, and complete, energetic, loving, you name it. And this is you here. And you are happy when this energy is flowing to and through you. And these are some of the things that you will feel. This is your authentic expression. This is your purpose, is to be this. This is what I believe us as human beings, our purpose is to be. This is how we make our impact. And we feel trusting and we're vibrant, empowered and patient, loving, kind, gentle, joyful, we have lots of fun, right? That is our innate state. And then something gets in the way. And that's where I talked about if the clouds were out that day, the sun is still doing its thing. That power is still orchestrating everything. I am still here. But if I block that energy from flowing through me, I'm not a happy bunny. And I will feel fearful, shameful, guilty, depressed. Maybe I'm full of hate and resentment and blame, and I criticize and judge, and I possibly might be angry, all in different intensities. Now, I've got dotted lines of color just because it's never that bad. Otherwise, if there was no color at all, the Grim Reaper would be ready to take us, right? But I'm sure we've all experienced the former, and I'm sure we've all experienced this. But this lead umbrella for me indicates the clouds that block that energy from flowing through us. The ego, which is a whole nother story. Our ego is our overthinking mind. It's the outdated stories that becomes our personality that keeps us limited. Yes, it has a place because you can't have an egoectomy. I think as part of the human experience, we have to have an ego. But in my experience with my own life and the people I've worked with and spoken to, that ego is often ruling the show at a very high percentage, which is why we can often, if we're not intentional or concentrating, feel like this. So this is who I believe we are here to be in our natural state. And that is why I'm so passionate about helping us realize, how do we reduce the intensity of those outdated stories and create new ones that will have us feeling more like this? And in this state, what's your experience of life going to be? Have a think about it. You are going to feel energized. Your relationships are going to be in flow. You will be experiencing life in a whole new way. We also know that when we feel like this, opportunities just are non-existent. Our relationships might be fractious, our ill health, we might be volatile, we'd possibly be, we will rely on our addictions to give us some kind of comfort or escape. And then Isaac Newton in 1666, you will all recognize this. I think it's the emblem on the Pink Floyd album. He experimented that sunlight passed through a prism, produced this spectrum of colour. And people thought that the colour was inside the glass, but Newton proved that it was inside the light all along. That light is multicoloured. The full spectrum of you is already in the light, the power, the energy that beats your heart. Your job, our job, my job, all of our jobs is to simply let it pass through. And another analogy would be a lighthouse that is constantly giving off the light. But if the fog is in the way, i.e. the cloud or the ego, it shortens its reach for the boats to see. The strength of the beam never changes, but it only stands in the way is the fog. So we are everything and nothing. The energy is everything. The body without it is simply dust. So a brief question that I'll follow up with is, what's coming to mind as to some of the clouds or the block for your light right now? And I will stop sharing as I ask my glamorous assistant to come and join us. Jodie Bode, are you ready, my lovely? So what I would like to demonstrate now is something called kinesiology, because why is it so important, essential for us to appreciate that there is more to us than the physical being? And how would our lives change if we fully appreciated that power flowing to and through us with our hearts open and a calm mind can affect our lives? So this is my boy. Well, he's not my boy anymore. He's my young man.
Hello, everyone.
Right. This is my son, Jody.
Ready?
And I tend to pick the strongest person in the room for this. So he is my very strong person. He's very buff. So I'm going to ask Jody 4 questions. And just to demonstrate, I'm going to ask him the first two questions. I would like you to tell me your name, and I am going to test your strength when you tell me the truth. So I'd like you to put your arm out to the side. Okay, let's come forward a bit. Right. And when I press down on your wrist, I'd like you to resist me. So tell me the truth, tell me your name, and tell me it's the truth.
My name's Jody.
Yeah, and that's the truth.
It's the
Nice
truth.
name. Okay, and resist me. Oh, God, he's so strong. Right, okay. Now I'd like you to lie to me, and I'd like you to make up a name and believe it's the truth. What's your name?
John.
Your name is John.
Yeah,
Nice
yeah.
name. Is that your name?
Yeah, it's my
Yeah,
name.
wonderful. Nice name. And resist me. Right. Every time I do this, the person says, do it again, I wasn't ready. Right? They're so shocked at how weak they feel. So a brief demonstration as to when we tell the truth to ourselves, i.e. allow that light to flow through us, we're strong. When we lie to ourselves, i.e. believe the rubbish in our heads, our egoic stories, we literally become weak. So I'm going to ask him two more questions. Answer these in your head and in your body, right? So don't share it out loud. I would like you to first think of a time where it was all a bit crappy, really rubbish. You were down on your luck and it was all just like life is so hard. And I would like you to think and feel it in that experience. And then when you're ready, put your arm up to the side. Just really feel. You're thinking and feeling?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And resist me? Okay. Okay. Now I would like you to think the complete opposite. I would like you to think and feel about a really beautiful experience where life was in flow and you were on cloud nine, or however you would like to explain it. What is that experience? Really immerse yourself in that. Think and feel about being in that experience. It could have happened, or you could make it up in your imagination.
Yeah.
All right. Are you there? Okay. And then resist me. Yes, wonderful. Thank you.
It's a bit difficult to try and stay on the positive. Well, no, not
Yeah.
stay on the positive, but yeah.
But yeah, after being in
Clear
there,
mind,
lovely.
yeah.
Keep a clear mind. Thank you.
That's
I
okay.
very much appreciate you.
Thank you, everyone.
Cheers, bud.
Bye.
So, as clear as I can on screen, any thoughts or comments about what you just witnessed?
Does it work as a lie detector test? If I was to I want to try it on my child.
Yes.
Does it?
Loosely, it will do, but it's
That's gonna be fun.
But my one thing I would say to you is, do you want to allow them to have autonomy and just work out exactly? But I get it. But you can do it with foods. If you held a bag of sugar, you would be weak. Now it's important to stay hydrated. Really important to stay hydrated, because obviously that hydration is going to mean that the energy passes through your body, being a conductor. But yeah, you could hold a bag of sugar and you would be weak. It's really worth testing. My name is Vanessa. Is that the truth? Yes. My name is Ethel. Is that the truth? Yes. I would be weak. So have a play with it. Make sure you're hydrated. But any other thoughts at all?
I think it's mad. I'm just a bit like, got to
I know.
try that when we get home. Quite unbelievable, actually.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I've had professional kinesiology done because the body holds the score, but it's a really interesting exercise to use, and I use it in my masterclasses all the time, and people are astounded. I genuinely have used a 6 foot. So I'd love to do it on you, James. I've done it on a 6'7" guy who rested his elbow on my head, and he still couldn't hold me up when he lied about his name. And
When you did it, did you tell him beforehand that he'd feel weaker if he was
No.
telling a lie? You just
No.
set it up, just
you just do it.
like, right.
Yeah. So I test them because my name is X. Is that the truth? Yes, my name is, and then they fib, and I tell them, lie to me, but tell it's the truth. And they're so shocked. They're honestly, people say, oh my gosh, could you do that again? I wasn't ready. I go, yeah, I'll do it again. And they go, right, my name is John. My name is John. My name is John. Is that the truth? Yes, my name is John. And they are just dumbfounded. It's
See,
not
because
me.
because I'm so interested in psychology and biology. I'm trying to think that my way through. I'm trying to logically think my way through it now. What is your brain doing to your central nervous system that
Yeah.
it's affecting in some way? But I can't think of a way.
Well, I think for me, what it demonstrates is our thoughts, emotions, and our body are all connected.
Mm.
My point being, when we rely on our body, the prism, too much, and our egos, we're weak. It's
Oh yeah.
just a fact. When we allow whatever we understand that power to be, and that's why in my work I call it the power of love, because I think everybody could appreciate that power turns the world, grows the grass, beats our hearts. It knows it. The birds know when to sing. It opens every flower. It drops every leaf in autumn. It's ever present. There is nowhere that power is not. Even in the unlovely in life, that power is everywhere. It's simply our blocking it that causes us to disintegrate, literally disintegrate. And the first time I did that on Jody years ago, he imagined a situation where he was feeling amazing, where everything was flowing, because it was in COVID. So we were all having a bit of a tough time. And he imagined it hadn't even happened, and he still felt strong because the mind and the body doesn't know whether it is real or imagined. And this work I do for me as much as I do anyone else. So next time I see you, ask me to do that with you, please, because I really would like you to experience it. But our thoughts are emotions, and our emotions are energy in motion. So it's that energy flowing through us and we feel it. So if we're not allowing that energy to properly flow through us, we will feel crappy. If we are open and allow that energy to flow through us, we will feel lovely. It's just a fact. Now, the silly thing about all of this is that energy is never not flowing through you because you are here, alive and kicking. It's just our thinking that blocks it. Simply that. It's going back to the image that I shared with you. It's just the lead umbrella. It's our thinking that blocks it. So just for a moment, as we've just watched Jody, if you are comfortable, close your eyes just for a couple of minutes. If not, could you please just focus on something still where you're sat and just get comfortable in your chair with your feet flat on the floor. And just for a moment, if you can focus your attention on the natural rhythm of your breathing. And just be aware of how you're breathing in and how you're breathing out. And as you relax and just bring your attention from your mind, your thinking, into the beating of your heart and the breathing of your lungs. And in your own time, if you inhale for 4, 2, 3, 4, and hold for 4, 2, 3, 4, and exhale for 8. And if you just do that 3 times, you inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 8. If you inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 8. And as you bring your attention to your breathing and your beating heart, you can place your hands on your heart if you wish, or simply just feel it beat in your chest. And some people struggle to feel their beating heart. That's okay. There might be lots that's protecting it. But this practice of bringing your attention to your beating heart means that you are bringing yourself into the present moment. And this is your point of power. And if your attention is on your breathing and on your beating heart and counting where you are to keep you present, then you are not in your head. You cannot be in your head and focused on your heart at the same time. If you find that your thoughts are jumping in, then just thank them and see it as a passing cloud in a blue sky, and just very simply bring your attention back down into your chest. If counting works for you, great. If you like words, then breathe in a positive word, a positive feeling, peace, joy, calm, serenity, harmony, whatever works for you. And just breathe out tension, stress. Breathe in the emotion, the experience that works for you. Peace, harmony. And exhale any stress, any tension. And just in this next moment, just thank your heart for beating. Thank the energy for consistently being present. And thank you. Thank your heart for bringing your attention to its power. The intelligence of your heart is 5,000 times more powerful than your mind. And this is a very simple practice to bring you into your power and to connect you with the intelligence and the power of your existence. And then when you're ready, just bring your attention back to your breathing. Any sounds that you can hear in the room around you. And just in your own time, just bring your attention back into the room and open your eyes. What we just did then is very commonly known as obviously a meditation, and lots of people struggle with meditation. That is a very simple tool. I don't know how long we were out for, a couple of minutes. The simple tool I teach everybody I meet, and I call that 1, 2, 3. 1, pause where you are. Just pause. 2, breathe. Bring your attention to your breath. You are not breathing. You are being breathed. Whether you like it or not, whether you pay attention to it or not, even when you're asleep, something is breathing you. So if you bring your attention to that thing, that power that is breathing you, you bring your attention back into the moment. And then 3 is to feel your beating heart. You're saying to your mind, just for the moment, I'm just going to come back to myself. Where our minds are insistent or easily distracted, and mine is feral, my mind at times. I really struggle with it. But just to practice concentrating on my breathing, if you find that a struggle, I invite people to stare into a flame because it's moving, it doesn't have any edges, and it's easy to focus on something else, and you will find yourself being brought into the present moment. And actually, the meaning of meditation is to become familiar with. And what are we becoming familiar with? The energy, the power. That power of love that beats our heart, that is what we are getting familiar with. And when you spend time, just a few seconds, even if you counted 3 breaths, it could take you 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. It's an amazing place to start and to begin to access the power that beats your heart. So, what are some of the thoughts, fears, and stories that are your clouds? Making a note of just what comes to mind. And what would life be like for you if those clouds were lifted? Do you allow yourself to even visualize and imagine what life could really be like if your authentic expression, your true colors, if you really felt your fullest? and the ego is minimized. What would life really be like for you if those clouds were lifted? And then really just in closing, really I'd like you to imagine now a world where every person lets this light through, where the clouds of ego, the fear, the shame, the judgment, the need to prove and perform are lifted, where hearts are open, in a world where relationships don't just survive, they heal, and trust is restored. Compassion is what replaces competition. In this world, creativity doesn't feel forced. It flows like a river. Ideas spark, possibilities expand, and collaboration thrives. Energy is no longer scarce, it's abundant. People walk lighter, they breathe deeper, and they smile more. And joy is no longer a rare guest. It's the atmosphere we live in. It's the experience that we thrive in. Joy is the baseline, and joy is normal. Because this is what happens when love flows freely through us. This is what happens when the prism is clear, the rainbow of our being shines into the world, and this is my mission, and I call it Life Unscripted. It's the invitation to live free from the ego's script, that old story of who you think you should be, that outdated script. It's the courage to let love write your life. Because love just doesn't write a better story, it writes the story you were always meant to live. This is what it means to become whole. It's what it means to feel whole and complete. And this is what it means to live illuminated and in resonance and in harmony with your true self. This is what it means to be truly, fully alive. The prism is you, the light is here, and the colors are waiting for them to shine through. Live your life in color, because the world doesn't need more scripts. It needs more hearts on fire. Let the love through and co-create the future that we all long for. That's the world that I envisage and I imagine every day. It's the world I want to live in, where no longer hurt people are hurting people, where loving people love people. But we're scared to let that love in. We're scared to tap into who we truly are, because it means we've got to dig beneath and buried under and behind all of those layers that we've built up around ourselves. And we all have them as human beings. It's part of the human experience. To tap into who we truly are, to dissolve those layers, means that we can live that illuminated, colourful life. And that's what came to me when I saw that rainbow on my carpet. And that's what I called the human prism principle. And it is the premise to my work. I really appreciate your time. Thank you. I hope I have helped explain something that I think most people struggle with understanding, because it's become very complicated. And the reason my images are so simple is someone said to me, if you could teach it to an 8-year-old, everyone would get it, which is why the images are so basic. But unless you have any questions or any thoughts or comments, I'm more than happy for you to save them for the feedback form. Or if you want to leave me a voice note, or if you want to share something now, I am more than happy to stay on for a little bit. But I do appreciate if you want to get off, then please do. But thank you for your time. I very much appreciate you.